right now on Denver 7 News at 4. No solution in sight for business owners.
They say it's like shoveling water. There's nothing they can do.
How the trash and broken down RVs near Huron Street are creating more of a health hazard for people nearby.
Well, even though prices are high, a record number of people are homeowners. But homeownership among Black Americans remains lower than a decade ago. We'll take a look at the work happening now to change this. And not everyone who lost their lives helping the United States during the Vietnam War is remembered on the Wall Memorial, the new push from families to get their loved ones recognized.
Plus, as more school districts go on spring break, we're helping you come up with ideas for a staycation. The behind-the-scenes look at the Denver Zoo and the new exhibits you'll find. Thanks so much for joining us for Denver 7 News at 4. I'm Jason Grenauer. We begin with the latest, an ongoing issue in Denver's Ruby Hill neighborhood. Business owners say the RV and trash situation has only gotten worse. Now, we first told you about this problem 2 weeks ago. Neighbors say people living in broken down RVs are creating a safety and health problem for businesses near South Huron Street. They're dumping piles of trash on the road and are accused of stealing from multiple workplaces. Today, we saw even more RVs parked there. Those who work nearby say they feel helpless.
We're tired of the needles, the bottles of urine and feces that we got to look at, and it's just a bad look on the street. It's a bad look for Denver.
Business owners have contacted the city and Denver police, but they say they haven't done much to solve the problem. Now, coming up at 6, Denver 7's Patrick Perez explains the safe parking program that the city is working on that would give RVs a designated space to park.
Today, President Biden spoke with China's president for the first time since Russia's invasion of Ukraine. The White House has been trying to deter the Chinese from providing military and economic assistance to Russia. President Biden wants Xi Jinping to use his influence to encourage Russia to end the war. U.S. leaders have warned that they would impose costs on Beijing if China does indeed back Russia. The World Health Organization is reporting at least 41 attacks on Ukrainian health facilities since the war started. The WHO says that these attacks from Russia violate international law, and in times of conflict, healthcare should be protected. People too sick to leave hospitals in Ukraine have been sheltering in basements of the facilities. And as hospitals become harder to come by, civilians in Lviv are being trained in first aid to prepare for a Russian attack. The Ukrainian city borders Poland. It is where many people have escaped since the Russian invasion. Engineers, teachers, even high school students now are all getting involved.
I'm afraid because we are not prepared. I am not a professional soldier, but I understand it is better to meet the enemy being prepared and with the right skills.
I don't understand and know when I will in future study, because now it's a hard time and I don't know what can be tomorrow.
Training includes things like how to apply a tourniquet and how to keep an injured person breathing. Now, Poland's border agency says that 2 million Ukrainians have escaped to their country. Altogether, more than 3 million people have left Ukraine since late February, according to the United Nations Refugee Agency. Most refugees are women and children. Men between the ages of 18 and 60 have been banned from leaving Ukraine so they can be available to fight. The news feed starts with what a new Omicron variant could mean going forward. Dr. Anthony Fauci says the BA.2 variant could mean more COVID cases, but not hospitalizations. He points to the United Kingdom in the past week that has seen a rise in cases, but not an increase in the amount of people in the ICU. New insight into how the Omicron variant is different from the original strain of COVID-19. 2 new studies say that Omicron can survive at least twice as long on surfaces like plastic, paper, even skin than the original strain. Virginia Tech researchers say you are still more likely to be infected with the virus by breathing it in. Now, 2 COVID-19 vaccine makers say you should get a 4th shot of the medicine. Moderna has asked the FDA to approve another booster for all adults. Pfizer has asked for a 4th shot to be approved, but just for seniors. A group of families is trying to get their loved ones acknowledged 60 years after they died en route to a mission in Vietnam.
And that means that they won't be forgotten. Because the minute you stop saying their name, they're gone.
The new push to get their names on the Vietnam Veterans Memorial Wall.
Now, the BA.2 COVID variant has been detected here in Denver. The strain is responsible for a rise in cases in Europe, Asia, and more recently, New York City. State and local health officials say they're not worried about it, though, as the vaccine does appear effective. At last check, 150 people were hospitalized in Colorado with COVID. Well, RTD has now signed a contract raising pay for all union employees. Wages will increase by more than 25% over the course of 3 years. That means the starting pay for a bus or rail operator goes from $20.50 an hour to $24 an hour. General mechanics will start at $30 an hour. Pension contributions will also increase. Now, RTD's struggles with attracting and retaining workers is well documented. The service received $53 million in federal funding just this month to cover operating costs and labor. Coming up, turning clocks forward and back may soon become a thing of the past. How a bill to keep the country at daylight saving time is doing in Congress, and the debate on if we need it or not.